One. You why why is Graham this person? Chat verifying that we can be seen and heard. Sound and visuals look good. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Symphony. If you are not familiar at this point, Symphony Entertainment, Gaming, and Arts is my gaming company. We focus on a lot of really cool things that I put in the tagline, from like organic content and indie games and horror and some other really cute stuff that I don't have up in front of me because mostly I want to get to the content that we have here available. But before we introduce the absolutely amazing gentleman in front of us that I really dislike, let's go over two very quick announcements. One, we are doing a coaching series right now called Cover Design and Inspiration. We have 15 titles that we are going through that we're going to try to get through in an hour, maybe a little bit more. And every single one of these creators has donated a PDF copy, a free PDF copy, to this stream, which is absolutely incredible. So one, creators, thank you for participating and supporting the Symphony. Two, thank you for giving out your content for other people to enjoy. And three, thank you for creating the content in the first place. Creativity is really hard. After the last 4 or 5 years that we have had as a world, it's even more difficult. And the fact that you finished and the fact that you pushed it out, the fact that you put yourself out there is greatly appreciated. So thank you, thank you, thank you. To win one of these 15 titles, you do need to be a follower of the channel. And you're going to want to enter !cover with a capital C. So !cover, COVER, for a chance to win. We're going to do the giveaway at the end, and I will connect you with each of these creators to get your free PDF copy. Also, last announcement as per usual, if you like this content and you would like to help us make more of it, please consider backing us at Patreon on patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Hey! Oh my God, I see so many people that I love in the chat right now. I'm so excited. Okay, so we're going to get this party started in the interest of time. First and foremost, let's introduce the gentleman that is joining us this evening. Graham, please tell us who you are, what you do, why people should be bothered with you in the first place, and where people can find you.
People should totally not be bothered with me. Hello. I'm Graham. I'm a game designer. I'm best known, I think, as the author of Cthulhu Dark. And I'm working on a thing called Cosmic Dark at the moment, and I do lots of weird games as well. But really, I'm a small indie publisher, and I always have been, and it's kind of why I wanted to do this today, because I think we don't talk enough about like how on a budget you can sort of put more or less professional covers looking covers together. So yeah, that's why we're here.
Oh,
did that answer all your questions? I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm going to hit you with 3 more very quickly. Favorite animal? Right. I know what it is, but tell the chat.
Oh, hedgehog.
Hedgehog? That's not what you told me. Are you changing your favorite animal on me?
Yeah, I didn't have one favorite animal. I just kind of have. Go on. What's the next question?
Oh God, you're so difficult right now.
Sorry.
Okay. What software do you typically create your covers in?
InDesign.
Okay, you're using.
Oh no, it's not. Sorry, it's not these days. It's Affinity Publisher these days.
Affinity nowadays. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's one horror game you would like to see streamed on the Symphony sometime in the future?
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. I didn't prep them for these either, guys.
You did not prep me for this. The one that's in my head at the moment actually is Under the Autumn Strangely, which you have done. So yeah, just because it's sort of really, really interesting narratively, and that's what's in my head. Sorry.
No, we'll give you that. That just sounds like we need to stream that content again, which that content was brilliant, so I'm completely in for it. So, okay. All right. Graham, you wanted to come onto the Symphony. We wanted to do something coaching, inspirational, supportive to the community. You actually came up with the idea with like, let's do cover design. So I was like, that's a great idea. Let's put some guardrails on it and let's roll it out and let's see if we can present some value to the community. Before we jump into our very first cover, 2 things. One, I don't have an eye for aesthetics at all. So literally, I'm just going to be following along with you and asking questions because I don't really have a whole lot to contribute from an aesthetic standpoint. From a graphic design aesthetic standpoint, the best I can do is as a consumer go, yes, no, I wouldn't pick that up. Yes, I would pick that up and kind of do my impressions on the engagement. So you're going to be really carrying this stream, Graham, just as long as you know. The second thing I would like you to just expound upon a little bit or lean into is big picture. When you're looking at a cover, what are the things that you think should jump out at people? What are the things designers should take in mind? Just give me your baseball pitch, and then we'll jump into the minutia more.
Yeah. Do you mind if we take a step back and sort of talk
Yeah,
about
let's go backwards. Let's go.
why we're doing this? Just in any just in case people are kind of going, well, why the hell should I care about what Graham? I mean, yeah, you shouldn't really. I mean, we wanted to do this because well, because it's good to talk about cover design. I think it's
Yeah.
really hard, but also because we wanted to give people a way to promote their stuff.
Yeah.
And so the secret plan behind this is that it gets 15 authors to get their stuff on the screen, and then we hope everyone who's listening to this will go and buy them.
Yes.
I've actually bought most of them already because I read the preview and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I want to know what happens next. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I've done that. But yeah, what else did I want to say? And I'm now slightly regretting doing this because well, because everyone's in the chat.
You
And so
lurking.
it was this kind of cool positive thing, and let's give people a chance to promote their stuff. And now over the next hour I've got to be like, oh yeah, I give this like a 6 out of 10. And and everyone's in the chat and going, screw you, Graham. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. I mean, so and the other thing is I'm not really a graphic designer, so I'm kind of in the same space as you, Bridgett, right? I think I've got a fairly good eye, I guess. I have sort of, like I say, I'm an independent publisher, and I have been sort of navigating that space between making a cover look
Yeah.
professional-ish, while not blowing the budget,
Yep.
and yeah, and not doing really intricate stuff because I can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I guess that's what I've been trying to do.
No, I love it. Okay. No, I love it. And then what we'll do, Graham, to kind of like support you and support community, we won't rank anything. We won't do numbers. We won't do a
Oh, we
sliding
definitely
scale.
won't. No,
We'll do impressions, things that could be done differently, how we feel about it. And then, like I said, you're going to be carrying it from just a pure, hey, the color should be this, or have you considered this type of font, or have you, because I've got nothing. I've outsourced all of my
Yeah.
covers, guys. That's how bad I am. Thank you, Jared Smith. Okay. Graham,
Cool. Should we get started?
yeah, let's do it. Which title are we hitting first?
We are doing Cursed.
Oh,
first.
Cursed. Okay, give me just a very quick second to find Cursed.
I was
So what
actually
I'm
hoping
doing,
to do this thing because I know the order. I've got it here, but I was hoping to do this thing where I'd like pretend to be surprised.
you're like,
And I'd go,
oh my goodness,
it's this one.
I
Oh,
was unprepared for this. Haha.
yeah,
Yes.
but now I can't because I'm saying the names. But yeah,
That's okay. We're doing Cursed right now, and then
Yes.
I will tee this up now. Guys, this is Cursed. It is currently available on DriveThruRPG on the Miskatonic repository. A link is going into the chat. This is the brief description that was provided by the creator, Al Smith. My Zoom just froze. Why? Hold on. It's always something. Where's my Zoom screen? I just need to shake it. There we go. I shook it and it's back. All right. This is the snippet that Al provided us. A modern Call of Cthulhu scenario and semi-sequel to the Dunwich Horror. Okay. Let's lean into Curse, this gold bestseller on the Miskatonic repository.
Yeah, it's beautiful. This, isn't it? I absolutely love this. So okay, so I think the reason I wanted this one up first was because it just sort of shows you how to do a really simple cover. So it has a really strong image, which is by, I had it up. Do you have it?
John Sumrow did that one.
John Sumrow.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, this isn't, it's an absolutely beautiful image. I'm tabbing between about 5 screens.
You were good.
So yeah, it's a really stunning image, and it's used really well. What I really like about what Al's done here is he hasn't kind of just put text all over the place, because I think you see a lot of covers where there's this presents this and the author's, and it's all just, it's condensed really well, just into the center. It's positioned really well. I don't know if he's actually, you can do this thing where you use the golden ratio to position your text. I don't know if he's done that, but anyway, where he's positioned, it looks really good. And it's this lovely sort of minimal cover. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Um, having said all that, hate the
Mhm.
typeface. Um, the yeah, so this is kind of my thing with this, I think. So the typeface there is, so you've got this very professional cover, and then the typeface kind of looks like a sort of a free typeface. I don't know, what do you get looking at that, Bridgett? Like if you
I
looked at
would,
the whole cover, where would you say this game was set?
oh, if I just look at the cover right now,
Mhm.
I would go something rural, something
Yeah.
island based. I would
Mhm.
get the idea that we're going onto like a secluded island, something maybe volcanic, something jungle that has been cursed and like the landscape has been swept away. I know looking at it right now with the lighting from the moon at the top and the skeleton that is built into the mountain is giving me strong undead vibes. So that's what I would guess. Cursed, seeing the title, and then with the picture there, I would go some type of landscape horror.
Yeah, that makes sense. And time period, is it like, where are we? 1920s, modern day?
Oh, so something like this gives me evergreen vibes. I could go futuristic. I could go modern day. I could do
Yeah.
1920s.
No,
I
that's
could
fair enough.
even
Yeah,
do
yeah.
like medieval. I could go back further than that, antiquity. Because there's nothing else. There's no other tech or identifiers that would tell me a time period. So this kind of has that pendulum swing where it could capture whatever. What do you
No,
think
that's
when you
fair.
look at that?
I've read the scenario, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so to be
Type.
fair, but I think I guess where I was going with that is that the typeface doesn't quite work for me. It looks like kind of a I don't know. It I'm I'm trying to think how to describe it. It looks like some sort of comic book, maybe adventure typeface, something like that to me. And this is a really modern day scenario, and so that typeface doesn't really give me that. Um,
Oh, using a typeface to actually indicate what era it is interesting. And by typeface, just for somebody that's dumb, you are talking about the
Yeah,
font,
yeah.
right? Is
I'm
font
I'm
and
I'm basically
typeface the
I'm
same
basically
thing?
talking about the font. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean I think this is a sort of general thing that if you're using a typeface, try and use something that okay, I'll tell you the advice I got from a typographer who just taught me just about everything I know. And what he said was that he only uses about 10 typefaces in his work. So and his advice to me was basically don't go off and look for like quirky typefaces. Don't go, oh my God, this amazing typeface. Because actually, that amazing typeface generally won't look amazing when it's on the page. What he told me,
Interesting.
yeah, it's really fascinating. What he told me was use one of this little group of typefaces, like the classic typeface that look really good and just make what your work look really professional. Uh,
Gotcha.
I mean, it really taught me a lot that. Um,
I never
so I
considered
mean,
using a font to indicate time period. I just never, my thought process never even captured that idea. Interesting. Okay.
it's really interesting. So I mean, so if you are going for something like 1920s or 1930s, then there's a lot of fruitager. There's a lot of Franklin Gothic, maybe. There's a lot of these. You will sort of look at these typefaces, and they almost kind of subliminally take you into this 1920s, 1930s period. And in a similar way, if you sort of
Um,
see more older text, sometimes you'll just look at text and you go, that looks like old text.
yep.
Yeah,
Wow. I just never
it's really
considered.
fascinating.
It
So I mean,
is. It is.
you know what the Call of Cthulhu cover
Uh huh.
looks like, right? What have I got one? Hang on. Yeah.
I think mine is downstairs.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Call of Cthulhu.
Yep.
Um, but you look at that and you get an impression, like don't look at that and go, that's science fiction, do you?
No.
No. I mean, it looks like sort of swirly ancient font, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Um, which is what you want to do. You want it to. I mean, I think what this is, I think this is sort of an 1890s typeface, and it's a deliberately like weirdly ornate one, right? And so you read that, and it kind of takes you into historical, old, weird stuff. And so yeah, typefaces have this thing that they sort of take you into the world.
Wow. Okay, talk about learning value on cover number one. I never thought about a conversation that happens with the type of typeface that you have that indicates error. I mean, the logic is there. I just never considered it before.
It's so interesting. I could talk for longer. I could talk for longer about this. I'll just uh I'm trying to read the chat at the same
Yeah,
time.
I know it's a tough one.
Chris Bates has just made a completely valid point, which is, there are some goofy fonts, but a classic one can help set up the vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so if you do want to, look for a font to indicate 1920s or 1930s, do not search for 1920s fonts because you will get crap. Instead, I mean, you look for the fonts that were used around then. So I mean, the sort of um,
Oh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, so if you look at things like posters and books that were actually produced at the time, you'll get an idea of the kind of vibe to go for.
Oh. Holy hell, the psychology on that is great too. Because if I'm used to looking at it like a Sears magazine and I recognize the font and you throw that on the cover, I'm immediately going to go like, oh, yeah, that's like very similar to the magazine that Sears was using in the 1920s. Oh, that's a good idea. Go identify the fonts that were used in the time period that they were actually being printed. That's good.
It's really cool. Tell you what, I mean, I've gone off on a massive tangent there.
Massive
But
value on cover
yeah,
number one. We're good.
so yeah, so I mean, the only thing I'd change here would be typeface. If there was just some sort of nice little sans serif. I don't want to say Helvetica, but yeah, future Helvetica, something kind of nicely sans serif centered like that, and then I
Yeah.
think this cover would be absolutely perfect.
Stunning. Stunning. Just as
Cool.
a total side note with the cover, I do love the C and the D, how it like covers in the curse. I don't know why, but I'm a big fan of the C and
Yeah.
the D doing the parentheses on the side, but that's Bridgett and her aesthetics. Okay. All right. Let's pull
Yeah,
down.
should we go on? What are we on?
Yeah, 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 yeah. We'll pull down
We are
curse and
going
who you want to go to
on.
next?
Oh, we're doing the other Al cover next, other Al Smith, which is Field of Screams.
Perfect. It is
Yeah.
populating now, and then give me just a very quick second, and I will get you guys the link for this one. So, guys, this is also from Al Smith. This is Field of Screams, which is also available on Drive Through RPG right now. Here is a link coming into the chat. And as you look at this cover, this is the quick preview that was provided to us. A pulp Cthulhu scenario starting with ghosts in a field of corn and then some twists. That's what we have up in front of us right now.
Yeah. So art by Catherine Jenkins, who wrote for Cthulhu Dark. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I didn't know
you
that.
should go and read her stuff for Cthulhu Dark. It's great. She wrote some amazing stuff. This is a really good scenario. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a baseball scenario. I don't need to tell you that because it's called Fields of Screams, but it's a baseball scenario. Um, what do I want to say about this? I think this is a really unique piece of art, and it's lovely to sort of see. It's lovely to see monsters illustrated in a new way, right? Because
Yeah.
there is this thing about you always put a monster on the cover, and so you know this thing, right? That so many Cthulhu covers look like this.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Tentacle.
And
Da 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 da.
no, I know, and that's great if you do it really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So things I've got to say. Some of them are being set in the chat at the moment.
Yep.
I think the art fills too much of the space here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that, yeah, but because it's sort of filling it, there's almost nowhere for the title and everything else to go. It's a
Yeah.
very busy piece of art, and so I think the title is sort of getting lost in that a bit. The author's name definitely gets lost in that because it's basically kind of white on white.
It is. It drowns
Um,
out. Yep.
yeah, yeah. Um, this is this actually reminds me of something I did when I was commissioning art for Stealing Cthulhu, which is I kind of commissioned art, and then it came back. I was like, oh, this is the most beautiful piece of art. Where do I put the title?
Where do I put the
And
title? Yeah.
and nobody tells you this, right? Because you do actually like when you commission art, you do actually have to think, actually,
Where am I
actually
going to put the
tell
title?
them to leave a space for the title.
Right, because you're just like,
So,
fun piece of art, commission it for me. But then when you get it, you're just like, I have to find a place to put my title. I have to have a place to
yeah,
put any type of required signatures at the bottom, my name, any required logos. Do I want a tagline? If your art is the entire page, you're just like, where do I put that shit?
I know. And then after you get this, and I can't go back and tell them to do the whole thing again.
Right.
So I'm just going to have to find some way of using This sounds like I'm saying this is what Al's thought process was, and I'm sure it wasn't, but this is definitely what I've been through when I do covers. But I forget to like say, could you just make sure the art starts a third of the way down the page, so
Yeah.
I've got this big blank space for a cover. Yeah, cool.
Oh,
We should follow up.
really
Yeah.
quick, I got a great question coming in from the Count Olaf in regards to this. Do you have any tips on how to communicate with the artist to leave room for art beforehand? That's a great question.
Yeah, so I've actually just started saying this. So when I commission a piece of art, I will actually say, could you make sure the art is on the bottom two-thirds, and then just give me some sort of, kind of blank
Oh,
thing on the on the top third where I can put my title.
that's smart. Oh, that's smart. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Olaf, I
tell you,
hope
what, I've
that
got.
answered your question. That was a great question.
I think there's one of my covers coming up later, so I've got more to say on that one. But yeah,
Perfect.
we should move on. We
Let's do
we're
it. Where you head
like we
next?
said we said we're going to whiz through these, and it's 20 past. So
We're getting it. We're getting it. Where you want to go next?
cool. Lights in the trees.
Oh, I'm a big fan of this cover,
Is he in the
and
chat? I
he is in
think
the chat.
Doc.
Yeah, Doc is here.
Yeah. Is he
Uh,
driving? He said he was driving. Don't.
Doc, if you're driving right now, you about to get cussed out live on stream. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
Okay. He is response number 6. Okay, guys, this is Lights in the Trees. Here is the link for that bad boy coming up right now. I am going to populate that cover, and then this is the recap that Doc gave us for this one. Um, Following the Vietnam War, a group of former soldiers find themselves haunted by nightmares and visions, dragging them back into the dense jungles to find a truth that could shatter their reality. This bad boy is now available on the Miskatonic repository. This is Lights in the Trees by Matt Doc Tracy.
It's a great scenario, and I have read this one. I've read all these scenarios which I now can't play. Um, because I've just sport myself on everything. I'm going to say as well, there's amazing advice going. Like everyone's giving each other advice in the chat at the moment. So
Way to support
if
each
you're
other,
watching this
guys.
back on YouTube, you're not seeing that, but it's great. I won't try and read it all out. Um, it's I love it. So a few things I really love. I mean, Doc has done this cover himself,
Mm-hmm.
um, which I feel is a place we're all in, right? Because we're trying to sort of produce these things on a budget. Not
Yeah,
saying this looks like it's done on a budget, but and you're
we
like,
are.
how can I do something? Absolutely, how can I do something that that makes it look, makes it look unusual and professional and stands out? But I'm going to do
Yeah,
this myself because I can't afford to give someone $300 for a cover.
right.
Yeah, I love this.
This
Uh,
cover speaks to me immediately. The second Doc posted it, I was just like, oh my God. So,
mm,
one, I completely understand the era that we're in. Two, I love the almost disassociation or the disconnect between time and perception with the way like the background spirals are working. Horror all day long. I can't believe their eyes are scratched out and their faces are scratched out, and it looks like
nice. Yeah.
rudely done. I absolutely love it. And then honestly, like black and white covers, if done well, hit with just this really unsettling elegance, and I'm a big fan of. I love this cover.
Yeah, black and white, not so sure about, to be honest. Well, so you're right about black and white, but I think I feel there's a thing with Cthulhu scenarios, which a lot of them tend to. I think it's because we're trying to be like shadowy and misty, and we often get and we often sort of go into sort of dark and grey. And so actually, my
Hmm.
my preference is to do color because I think it
Oh,
really pops. Um, but I just feel it is a good choice here. But I just feel that choice gets made a lot, and a lot
yeah,
of people go, "Oh, I can do a really classy grey cover," and then there's a lot of grey covers out there.
yeah,
Um, but this is great because I mean here, black and white, right? Black and white photography, it does take you back, and you look at that and that. I mean, I'm from the UK.
uh
I
huh,
look at that and I know it's Vietnam, and I know
yep,
this is a Vietnam scenario, right?
yep.
It's really nicely done. Doc has just said in the chat that the subway tunnel that's layered there is intentional, which is great because otherwise
Yes.
I would have just thought it was just a whole mistake. It's just. Oh shit! I left that subway table in the
You-
front. What was I thinking?
did I leave that on there?
Damn! Oh no!
Damn
I've ruined my cover by accidentally leaving a half
it.
transparent subway tunnel.
Yeah.
No, it's great. The only thing I'd say here, I mean, I really like that. The typewriter typeface, like distressed typewriter, is really good here.
Hmm.
Um, not
Distress
all.
typewriting. Good word choice. Okay.
Yeah. It's a thing. Yeah. I'm not sure about the italics. Because italics, yeah, typewriters don't particularly use that. Not totally sure about the placement actually. There's something about lights in the trees over to the left there. I don't know. Why is it there? You kind of either want it like in a band across the top, or you want it like on two lines. But yeah, I didn't quite get the
Ooh.
positioning here.
Single line across the top would have been interesting.
Yeah. Well, then of course it makes all the letters smaller, so you do have to fiddle around with these things quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, no, it's a really great cover.
I love that cover so much. That cover makes me so happy.
It's
Okay.
so lovely, isn't it?
Oh,
Um,
stunning.
we've got some play unsafe here.
You want me to jump to play unsafe right now?
We're doing play unsafe.
All right, let's jump to play unsafe.
Yeah.
Play unsafe is now populated up, and then let me get you guys the linky link to this bad boy. Um, give me just a quick second. Actually, Graham, you can sell your shit better than I can. While I'm getting the link, tell us what Play Unsafe is about.
This is my first book. So I published this a while ago now. Oh my God, that's really blurred, isn't it? Sorry about that. Um, so this is my first book, which I totally did on a budget. I mean, my whole budget for this book was like 10 or $20. And so I laid it out on this sort of free thing. Um, by the way, this is one reason I was hoping I wouldn't have to like call out the titles. Because I was
Oh,
hoping
look
this
at
would
you!
come. I was hoping this would come up, and I could like be really surprised, be like, "Whoa, there's one of
Oh
mine in
wow, look,
there!
Play
Damn!"
Unsafe.
Yeah, look at that! Oh my God!
Didn't see that
But yeah,
coming.
yeah, God, that's a total surprise. That's what a curveball. Um, I actually just wanted to spend a couple of minutes sort of explaining what I'd done here because I mean this was totally me going, I'm doing this on a budget.
Yeah.
10 people are going to buy this. I cannot I can't just commission art. Play unsafe. Here's this amazing, intricate fantasy piece of art. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And so what I did here was use stock photography, which you can get very cheaply. So it's literally a um a picture of a dice I got off a website, isolated on white. Um, I guess what I wanted to say was that there's so many free and cheap options, and I
Yeah.
think we're going to see a couple that other people have used later. But stock photography is one. Public domain photography is good. I've seen people draw their own stuff. That's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. And then I think sometimes using those other options actually gives your book a really unique look. Whereas if you like paid someone £300 to do a cover, then it it wouldn't actually stand out as much as some of the weirder options do.
Quick question when looking at
Yeah,
this cover, mostly just because the blown up image I'm looking at right now is slightly blurry. What does the
yeah.
text say directly beneath Play Unsafe?
Oh, that was a quote from some review, and someone said, "Oh, this is really brilliant." So I thought, "Oh, I'll put that on the cover." So I did. Yeah. I mean, and of course that I went back and redid the cover because it's all print on demand, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and put that on a new version of the cover. So I did. Yeah.
Oh, I
Mm.
love it. I love it. I love it. Chat makes some interesting observations about this cover. Like it gives you the idea like this book may or may not be about gambling, which totally makes sense. And
Oh,
then my
okay.
reverse to
All
that
right.
is like, you know what? It almost looks like gambling intervention. I could see a Play Unsafe book with these dice. It's like if you have a gambling addiction problem, these are da 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 da. These are ways that you can play unsafe. With your blah 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 blah. So yeah.
Yeah. I think what else? One thing I think I did quite well here was I don't know if you can see there's a sort of margin around the outside, and
Yeah, there
and
is. It's
so
framed perfectly.
yeah, and I think I was probably just a bit lucky with this, to be honest. And also I did that thing that I know nothing about design, so and the way to deal with that is you do something and then you leave it for 2 days and you come back and you look and you go,
Yep.
that is all wrong and that needs to move up. And
Rah,
if you
rah,
keep
rah,
doing
rah.
that, I know,
Yep.
and it does actually work. Yeah, but there's a sort of nice, so play unsafe. There is a kind of nice box, and I think this is quite a general thing that if you can almost use a fairly big margin around the outside and
Yeah.
then use that to position your text, that usually makes it look like, as though it's put there deliberately.
It's interesting because I never would have noticed that unless you pointed it out. But looking at the cover right now, I can literally see the margin box. I can like see it almost if it were like lined in white and invisible. So just something I never
Yeah,
considered
yeah,
before. But I do like that framing now that it's being pointed out to me.
yeah. Cool. All right, shall we move on? What are we doing next?
Yeah,
We
let's
are
go, let's go, let's go.
doing now. I've asked in the chat for this word to be someone to tell me how to pronounce.
Oh,
Someone to tell me how this pronounces. I know
I know where
it's
we're
the
going
word.
now.
It's the one we can't pronounce.
Right. Paul, how do you pronounce this? Is it Hygge, Hygge, Hygge? Can you try to sound it out for us in the chat? Do you know? Of course
Yeah,
you know. Can you tell us?
the art of Hygge.
You're going
The
with
art of
Hygge?
Hygge.
Hygge
Hygge.
feels good to me right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm a big fan of that one. Okay. So this is coming up with the art of neither of those. He's like, no, we both got that wrong. This is the art of, we're gonna mispronounce it, but I can't really type phonetically. That is completely okay. Here is that cover coming at you right now, if I can find it. Here we go. All right, guys. So this is 4 American exchange students in Denmark. Try to learn about Danish culture and the phenomenon of Hygge. We're gonna go with Hygge until someone corrects me.
Of Hygge. Yeah.
Of Hygge. Yep.
It's so good. This, isn't it? I mean, I
Yeah.
really love this. I actually have to break down my thoughts, so I'm not just going, I love this. Things I love. The border's great, right? And gives all of I'm hoping it's Paul. I'm going to say Paul. I probably just pronounced that wrong as well. It so all of his scenarios use it, or all the ones I've seen, and so it gives them a sort of consistent look and feel, which is really lovely.
Which is great for branding. Yep.
I love what he's done with the Miskatonic repository box, and sometimes on a cover, people seem to be kind of going, where the hell do I put this box?
Right. Yeah.
and it's actually, it's a big part of it. Other things I like, right? Oh, were you about to say something? No, you're just doing a box.
And I was
Okay,
just
cool.
doing, being cute.
Yeah. Other things I really love, because I've looked at this for a while, right? It's got a monster in quotes on the cover, but that's an unusual drawing of a monster. It's quite a sexy monster.
Yeah.
That's great, right? If you're putting a creature on the cover, make it look different and use a unique art style. The other thing I love here is the light, because so many Cthulhu scenarios are dark and shadowy, and
Yeah.
this is, it's light, it's illuminated.
It is.
Can you see how the light from the picture is actually reflecting on the border? If you look at the top left,
Oh, holy hell. Yes, it is.
isn't that great?
It
So,
is.
so it's,
Yeah.
it's as though that's actually illuminated by the picture, and I think that's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, that is
Someone's
stunning.
asking which era this scenario is set in, and I can't remember. I have read it, but we'll probably say in the chat in a moment.
Yeah, I was about to say, there we go. Modern, set in 1999, guys.
Yeah. And I think that I think that comes off for me. I like it. If I had to criticize, I feel the title's a little lost up the top. And maybe that's part of the border design. Maybe it has to be that way. I think it's not really leaping out. I feel, I'd be putting in capitals. I'd be putting it in more of a contrasting color. I do like the typeface, and that's a decent typeface. That I
Yeah.
don't know what it is, but it looks like a sort of, I don't know, like a humanist geometric type. Anyways, it's this sans serif typeface, and so it takes you into that sort of modern thing. I really like that. Paul will know I'm about to say this, but I think the author's name gets a bit lost. It's actually in the bottom left
Oh yeah.
box. Yeah. And again, maybe it has to be that way because we're doing such amazing things with the cover. I mean, to be honest, sometimes I don't put my own name on the cover at all.
Yeah.
Because it loses me sales.
It loses
But
me
no, I don't mean
sales.
that. I just don't. There's so much to, you know. Um, but uh, but yeah, it's a beautiful piece of art that I absolutely love it.
Oh, it's stunning art.
Yeah.
From a marketing consistent standpoint, Powell could post a scenario tomorrow and I would know it was his if he's following the same formula because it's consistent across all of his scenarios, which is just great branding, great
Mm.
marketing, especially in this series. The border for me is really fun to engage with and to spend time with because it's not like a perfect picture frame where they're mirror images of each other. Like, no, there's a whole story being told around the entire frame, and each section is different, which I'm a big fan of. I absolutely love. The other thing is, I think this is just a really cool usage of like the Miskatonic repository requires you to put their logo on the front of it. This is a great
Mm.
use of like, well, fine, if I got to put it here, I'm going to make it a part of the piece. Like,
Yeah.
whoa. The other thing is, so I love the yellow sign too, but the one thing that always strikes me about this particular art is I'm looking at bare breasts. And for whatever reason, that's like the last thing that grabs my attention when I'm engaging with this piece. Like a lot of times when you're facing nudity in covers, you can start swinging on a pendulum of whether this is allowed, whether this is meets whatever regulations. And this one, like it's full breast and nipples. But it's just the way that it's appointed, the way that it feeds into the rest of the piece. It's just like no one has said anything because it's like this is just stunning. But it was a risky move because this could have easily been like you can't have nipples on the drive-through RPG, blah 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 blah.
Cool. We should move on. It's Alpaca in the coffee next.
Oh, the fucking hedge. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me go find alpaca in the coffee. There is the
Yeah.
alpaca in the coffee.
Nice.
There's the alpaca in the coffee cover, guys. And give me just a quick second to pull up Hedges stuff. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, guys. Alpaca in the coffee. This is on the Miskatonic repository right now. And Hedge is so funny. Do you like alpacas? Love coffee? Buy it now. This is a modern
Mm.
Call of Cthulhu scenario with a weird science twist, a short mystery, and lots of alpacas. Let's jump in.
It's so it's so good, isn't it? I mean,
Oh,
this is a
such a
really
good
lovely
cover.
scenario. It's set in Leith, which is north of Edinburgh. And which I've been to. Not that that says very much, but I have. Um, that's how I know it's north of Edinburgh. So yeah, it's a lovely scenario. Um, I think heading into this, I almost thought it might be a very jokey scenario, and actually,
Yeah.
it's a really solidly well written scenario. It's absolutely lovely.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, ah, what do I want to say about this cover? I like the cup of coffee. I like the alpaca in the coffee. It's funny.
It
It's
is.
absolutely beautiful. I didn't get that square was a napkin. Um,
Uh-huh. It's a napkin. Yep.
yeah. There is something about me that looks at this and goes, there must be really good coffee pictures out there. If we're going to use if we're going to use sort of stock coffee pictures, which we should. I mean, this is exactly what you should use for this. I but then you wouldn't have the alpaca. I do like the alpaca.
The alpaca is fun.
Um, yeah, and it
Graham.
is.
Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. Go, go, go. You're fine. Sorry.
I was just going to say typeface. I mean, I, I I would have used a different typeface here. I would use some sort of sans serif. I would have used some sort of I don't know, Franklin Gothic, one of those, something like that, rather than I don't know. I mean that typeface isn't singing to me. It's
Okay.
lovely though. It's and I'm just in love with the alpaca in bubbles.
Oh, the alpaca. So, if you haven't spent any time with this cover, guy, so we streamed this right when it released. Hedge streamed it on the Symphony. Great run. But this started a conversation in our chat where, like, all right, you've got the alpaca and the coffee. That's fun. Did you notice the alpaca and the coffee stain at the top right hand corner? It's
Yeah.
sitting in there about east. Oh, you missed that one, didn't you? Did you catch
Yeah.
the alpaca that's sitting in the best copper scenario logo directly to the left of the B? Huh. Did you catch the floating alpaca? There are like 14 alpacas in this cover. If you sit down and
Oh
actually
my
spend times
God.
with this cover, there are alpacas absolutely everywhere in this cover. You just have to sit here and actually spend time with and look at it. But there's I don't know how many there are exactly. We'll get Hedge to confirm, but there's like 10 alpacas in this cover right now. You just have to look for them, which I think
Cool.
is clever.
We're going to go on to another cover, which again, I will tell you what. Do you want to just put it up? It's your one. It's that, and we can put it up and we'll just pretend to be really surprised.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, let's do it.
I didn't see
Great.
this one coming.
Well, let's see what's coming up next. Wow, gosh.
Whoa, look at that one.
It's not up yet.
Hey guys, as I look up the response on this one.
Whoa! It's
Whoa!
Bridgett scenario. Holy
Man,
shit! Who would have guessed this was coming?
Who would have thunk it? So guys, this is Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory. This is available on Drive Through RPG and Indie Press Revolution. Indie Press. It is Revolution. Yeah, Indie Press Revolution. The brief content description provided by Bridgett is welcome to the Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory, an elite performing arts school where you would be tested to perform beyond your dreams, a Cthulhu Dark campaign. So, speaking about black and white covers again.
Are you just trying to defuse everything I'm going to say? Yeah.
No, I'm jumping out in front of you because I'm really curious
No,
to hear what you say about this one, because this should be fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is perfect. Let's move on to the next one. So,
Next.
no, it's great. Oh man, this. No, okay, right. It's beautiful. I mean, that is a beautiful piece of art, right? Who did that? That's
This
a
is
lovely thing.
Edwin Mullavey, and I'll get you guys his
Yeah.
link right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. How did you find him to do this? How did you?
So Edwin and I float around a lot of the shared gaming circles, lurking fears and things of that nature. And I always knew that they were an artist. And he's been posting things on his Facebook. It's like, oh, I just made this cool new monster, blah, blah, blah. And he has a
Nice.
very specific style that works with like shadows and depth that makes me really happy. So I gave him literally, Graham, I gave him, hey, it's a musical game that's, very Cthulhu heavy and based. Basically, I would like to see some musical instrument and a tentacle, maybe a violin or cello. I don't know. Have
Oh
fun.
wow! And he
And
did this
that's
whole
what he
thing
came
about
back
linking
with.
it all up.
Yep, and that's what he came back with.
Oh my god!
I
I
have a
love
link to
that.
Edwin's art station in the chat, guys, if you guys want to reach out to him, because he's great to work with.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful, arresting image. I absolutely love it. Uh, yeah, it's a great cover. And part of me wants kind of psychedelic covers in this, or I want like a blue wash or a green wash or something like that.
Ooh.
I don't know. What do you think? Am I being unfair about that?
No,
Or
I
does it
don't think
look
you're being
nice?
unfair at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
And I will say this one. I
yeah.
told you at the very beginning of this, I outsource all of my covers and my layout. So I didn't even do this cover. Edwin did the art, and then it all
Yep.
went to Jared Smith, and then Jared Smith came back with this. Some criticism I would have about just looking at the cover right now. I can't tell what the hell the scenario is just by looking at this. I'm assuming it has something to do with Cthulhu and horror
Yeah.
and something with music. But like, sometimes I think I should have put like a Cthulhu Dark campaign on the cover so people would know. I would
Mm.
almost rather drop my name and at the bottom have like a Cthulhu Dark campaign, so at least people know what it is just looking at it. The image is strong enough to make
I
you pick it up off a shelf. I will say that much.
actually that is a thing. I mean, I don't particularly think it's I mean, I like having your name there, but that is a thing that you can imagine someone at a convention sort of picking this up and kind of going, oh, okay, is this a standalone game? Is this a yeah? I know what you're saying with that.
Yeah, it doesn't speak to like
Um,
what the actual content is. It has a cool title. I love Miskatonic Shoreside
yeah.
Conservatory. It's a provocative title.
Oh,
Amazing,
it's a
evocative
great
image.
title.
But like, there's nothing else to tell it. The reason this content is selling so well at booths and gaming stores all over the world is because the image is so strong from Edwin that people pick it up and engage with it. But if I
Yeah.
had a weaker image, I don't think this content would be doing as well as it is.
No, that's true. And people do that. I mean, they have you done the thing where you stand behind a booth and you watch people yeah, you have. You're doing it
Mm-hmm.
now. Yeah. And people do go, whoa, what's that? Because
Right.
it's yeah, and that is that kind of image. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll pick it up from the cover alone. Yep.
yeah.
So thank you, Edwin and Jared. Love you guys on that one.
No, totally. Um, I wonder if the title's getting a bit lost up the top.
Yes. Maybe to the side. Would it have been better if halfway down to the side, Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory, Cthulhu Dark scenario at the bottom right?
I don't even know. I just, I mean, maybe it's another one of those where you actually kind of want to leave. I mean, I'm using Call of Cthulhu as an example here. I don't know why,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, you want to kind of leave a space at the top and kind of go Miskatonic, Shoreside, Conservatory,
Oh wow, that's good,
one
Graham.
word per line. You know, but yeah.
No, I agree that it feels a little bit lost at the top. I'm just curious. How do you feel about the typeface? Because Jared went super basic with it. I'm happy with it, but what is your thoughts on the typeface here?
I like it. I mean, the thing with italics is it can be a little fiddly to read from a distance. I mean, it's a good classic type.
Mm,
I mean, I don't know. When I'm saying Miskatonic, Shoreside, so oh, what's nice about it is that it, you know, it does put me in mind of a music score, which is
yeah,
lovely. It gives me classy, which is lovely, and then you
yeah.
want that, you know, Miskatonic, Shoreside, Conservatory, and yeah, you are getting some sense of a sort of, you know, yeah, modern. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
Bam. Look at
I
that.
do love this though, and I mean, yeah, I absolutely adore this, and I bizarrely made it your campaign into a one shot, which I
Yeah,
run quite a
it
lot.
was stunning.
Great.
Yeah. Actually, this is hanging up on the wall right there. You guys can't see it, but it's yeah. I love Edwin put his foot into that cover.
Ah, it's so good. Right, okay, let's move on.
All right, where you want to head next? Where should I
I
surprise you with next?
yeah, we're doing Pop Goes the Weasel. Oh, I got this is cool. I'm this is so fascinating.
Babe, really fast, because it's gonna take me a second. Wait. It won't take me a second. Let me go. Name, email, content should do it. Plan safe, curve. Pop goes the weasel. Okay, I knew it was one of the earlier ones that was submitted. Okay, Pop goes the weasel, guys. This is coming in right now. For another Call of Cthulhu scenario for 7th edition, Miskatonic Repository. This is the scenario is based in the late 1970s at the dawn of
Mm.
the personal computer age. Miskatonic University has a potential game changer product ready to ship, but needs some validation from players to make sure it behaves as promised. There is the link, and then there is the cover. And I
Right.
actually have to blow up another cover for myself on this one to engage. Okay, ready.
Cool. Have you read this one, by the way?
I have not read this one, nor have I played it yet.
It's a really good scenario. So it's Miskatonic University, but in the 1970s, in the era of weird computers, massive computers, weird computery things going on. There's a computer expert. So the Weasel is a computer expert, who I think has disappeared. Um, and
That's a
isn't
great
that a great?
setup.
I know. I mean, isn't it a great use of Miskatonic University?
That's
I
it.
read that. I was like, I want to play in this setting. It's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Um, what he's done here is so we can actually see the full spread right there. So that the cover is on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so that is someone in the chat is Paul is saying this. So this is a computer manual. So it's pretty close to a Commodore 64 computer manual. Um, so things I love, and also when I first saw this, I spent ages going, "That's some sort of visual reference, and what is it?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will discover what it is.
yeah. Are you fiddling with the box like
I am. I
live
just
so we
made
can?
it where you're not seeing
That's
the back cover too. You're just seeing the front cover. Yeah.
wow. It's like animated. It's amazing.
You're right. She's
Um,
doing things.
that's like high production values. Brilliant.
Right. As Twitch is
Um,
freezing. It's so good. It's Symphony. We're good.
all right. Things I love. I love he went back and looked at an old computer manual. Um, that's so good. And it's such a good thing to do is to go back to the period your scenario is set in, look at a
Yep.
book from that picture, preferably an interesting one, and go, I'm going to use that. That is my, you know, that is my design. It's so cool. Um, what's the other thing I was going to say? Also, I think he's done this himself, right? Um, and I love any solution because, you know, again, we're all sitting here with no money trying to make covers. I love any solution that that basically sort of goes that basically sort of lets me build my own cover. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So I like this, and this makes me deeply happy. Here's my thing, right? You know that thing I was saying? It's 1970s. It's a world of supercomputers and
Mm-hmm.
circuit boards and imagine glowing terminals and stuff like that. Am I getting that from this cover? I don't know.
Fair.
Do you know
Okay.
what? I kind of. I kind of want this cover to sort of take me into the world of weird glowing computer screens, and I'm not
Mm.
totally sure it does.
Okay. Talk to me about typeface, and then do you know what that logo is
Oh
to the
God,
right? Is that something specific to the scenario? Is
I
that something
don't
that I
know.
should recognize?
It might have been something I missed in the scenario.
Okay.
1970s typefaces. I don't know. I don't know. I tell you what. I mean, that thing about going back and looking at a
Mm-hmm.
book from the period. That's what I'd do if I was setting something in the 1970s. I'd be
Yeah.
looking at film posters from the 1970s. I'd be looking at book covers and going, I'm just going to use whatever's on that.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Beautiful. So one thing
Nice.
that Chris did here that I personally appreciate seeing, especially when you're doing with a cover that doesn't have a lot of art and a lot of busyness and a lot of capture, is the little gold box that specifically says requires Call of Cthulhu 7th edition or compatible, and then 2 to 5 players. It's nice to be able to look down and be like, oh, it's for 2 to 5 players. Got it. That was something neat to see that I don't typically see on a cover of a book. And then when you're looking at the back half of the book, if I can bring that back up for you guys, if I can unscale it. I like the fact that there's a. Am I able to do it? I might not be able to do it. Yep, I am. I love this stamp right here, the property of the Miskatonic University, as if it was just been loaned out or stamped in.
Oh, funny. I
Big
love
fan
that
of that. I
kind of
thought that was adorable.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Nice.
All right. Yes, very
We
total
move on.
user
Yeah.
manual. Yep, I agree with that one, Bates. Yep, where you want to go now, baby?
What are we doing? We are
We
doing
just did Pop Goes the Weasel.
we're doing something called Cthulhu Dark.
Cthulhu Dark, Cthulhu Dark,
Yeah.
Cthulhu Dark. I've heard of it before.
Yeah, I've heard bad things, to be honest.
Yeah.
Isn't it just like some 2-page thing or
Foolery? That's
something?
what I heard. Like, I heard the author didn't even put their name on the cover because they were so just like, ugh, they were
Just
running away from their content. Cthulhu Dark, guys. The creator of Cthulhu Dark is currently it's currently on the show right now. While I pull up that listing, and send the link out. Graham, tell us, what is this? What is Cthulhu Dark? What is that
What a
2-line pitch that's supposed to go with this?
Oh, it's my Cthulhu game, and it's very, it's a very it's a short rule set, but it really drives the story. Um, oh, we've got Richard Rook here. He didn't submit any covers.
Hey, that's my
Hey,
husband
Richard.
right there. I love some rook hunting. That's my babe.
Oh, you two are together. I didn't know. That's great.
Yeah.
So sweet. So,
Oh, so sweet. Okay, Cthulhu Dark.
why
Let's
does
talk
I,
about
why
it.
does I want? Oh yeah. I just thought I'd go through quickly, kind of like my thought process about how
Mm-hmm.
I designed this. So I was going to publish a Cthulhu game,
Mm-hmm.
but and I wanted it to look different from other Cthulhu games. And so if you look at Cthulhu covers, they will often lean quite heavily into this the sort of old historical often there's pictures. I've got Trail of Cthulhu I'm thinking of as well, actually.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there we go. So Trail as well, and I mean, you can't quite see that illustration,
Mm-hmm.
but sort of, leaning into sort of the historicalness of it. And I thought, if I'm going to do a Cthulhu game, I need to do something a bit different from that. So, I used a guy called George Cotronis, who does amazing sort of photo manipulation, and so he gave me this sort of weird swirling tentacles. I love it. It's quite nasty. I'm not generally a tentacles person, but I think it's come really nicely here.
Ooh,
Um,
Chad is gonna eat you alive for that one, girl.
oh, what about what? Not a
Just
tentacles person?
yeah.
I put a tentacle on the cover. I must at some level be a
Just,
tentacle
we're
person.
still here.
Um, But the typeface is the other thing as well. So again, I didn't want to go for historical. So I deliberately didn't do, here is a typeface of the period. Here is a
Yeah.
typeface that takes you back. I did. Here is a more strikingly modern typeface, and so that typeface it's called League Gothic,
Mm.
which is actually free. You can actually see us on a lot of role-playing game covers. Um, so yeah, so I deliberately used a more modern, sleek typeface, and the whole idea is that it sort of it gives a different look to it. So there you go.
Why didn't you put your name on this?
I don't know. I think I just wanted to keep it sort of simple and sleek. Oh, and there's something. Sometimes I can be a bit funny about this, like because it's Cthulhu Dark. I wanted it all to be a bit mysterious and obfuscated.
Mm.
And so that's why if you look at dark there, it's got the kind of cloudy dark. And loads of people told me like to do that. They're like, nobody can see the title of your game. And I'm like, no, it's dark.
It's
Dark
edgy
itself has to be
dark.
clouded over. Yeah.
No, so I'm a big fan of the. I'm assuming that's some form of transparency that you use to fill in that font, because it doesn't look like that's the original color on the back of the art. I personally love the Cthulhu Dark.
Yeah.
The dark is a little on the dark side. Like I have to look at it, it's like, oh, okay, it's Cthulhu. Oh, dark.
Yeah. Cthulhu Dark. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a cloud transparency there, and I
Cloud
can't remember
transparency.
whether I did that or I got someone to do it or explain to me exactly how to do it. But yeah, you can get these sort of transparencies that sort of make a cloudy pattern. So yeah.
Cloud transparency. Carl, if you're looking at that, let's do this some more on like Symphony covers because I absolutely love the Cthulhu Dark on this one. Also, the cloud transparency and the text with like the beginning of the clouds at the top left hand corner of the cover make me happy too. But the whole cover has this wispy, smoky, uncomfortable feel to it. Anyways, like it's a great cover. I love this cover. I love the art too. I'm also bothered by the fact that this tentacle has hair, but whatever.
You okay? I don't want to look at that. Let's move on.
Yes,
Um,
your
we're doing Under the Autumn Strangely.
Okay. Under the Autumn Strangely, guys. Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
pop up this cover for you. This is by Graham Gintz. Loves to playtest. You put some respect on that one.
Mm.
Let's pull this up really fast, guys. Give me just a quick second. Come on.
Someone
What are we
someone's
doing?
just mentioned Cthulhu Light in the chat, so I have to just tell the story here that I mean
Good.
basically Cthulhu Dark it is Cthulhu Light, right? So it's a two-page version of Cthulhu rules. So so it's a light Cthulhu system, but you
Mm-hmm.
can't call a Cthulhu system Cthulhu Light, so it's called Cthulhu Dark. That's why it's called Cthulhu Dark.
Nice.
Yeah,
Things that help. Hold on. Let me
cool.
refresh Twitch. Looks like Twitch just nope, it's back. Okay, guys. So this is Under the Autumn Strangely by Graham Gintz. The promo on this one is Under the Autumn Strangely is a pastoral horror game of anachronistic Americana in a land that never was. This is on print and PDF
Mm,
at Indie Press Revolution.
yeah,
Honey.
it's I love this so much. I mean, let me talk about the game actually. So, I've never played. I'd really like to. It's a beautifully laid out game inside as well. But it's a very narrative game. So I think
It
there's
is.
three roles, aren't they? And they all have specific
Uh-huh.
things. And
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, it's lovely. This cover's absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
Um, so what he's done is he's got I think it's a sign writer, Senza Della Donna. Um, and she's listed as doing cover art, but I did Google her, and so I think she's actually a sign writer, and so she's put together this cover. I don't have much to say about it. I just think it's brilliant.
It's absolutely stunning, guys. Just
Mm.
engaging with this cover, if you get an opportunity to look it up, just in case like Streamlabs isn't showing it really well. Everything from the pumpkin at the top to the leaping frogs to the way these butterfly wings are spreading out across these vines that are helping frame it. I don't know what's going on with the two circles under autumn, but I feel like this cover is watching me. And a lot of this game is very much like a feeling of being watched or just the game is super unsettling
Mhm.
and beautifully put together. And then I just love almost how playfully, the by Graham Gintz is there at the bottom. It's not goofy, it's not comedic, it's not campy, but just with everything else and all of this storybook elegance, I'm stealing Bates' words on there, and then it's just like by Graham Gintz. I love this cover. This cover is absolutely stunning. The use of light is crazy too.
It's so good. I think one thing is it's really important to sort of remember that actually you do have options other than commissioning
Yeah.
this sort of standard piece of art and putting a title on it.
Yes.
So using a sign writer gives you this incredibly unique look. Yeah, it's amazing, and of course it takes you directly into this world of sort of pastoral Americana. I mean, it basically it kind of looks like a Wicker Man game, and which is exactly what it should look like. So
Good word choice.
it's a gorgeous thing.
Yeah. Graham, you
Cool.
guys stuck the landing on this one, baby. This is stunning.
It's so good. What are we on now? We are on.
Where you want to go?
Now you see, I didn't want to put a third cover of mine in here, but you said you wanted it, so let's do Cosmic Dark quickly.
So yeah, I personally need this one. I requested this one, guys. He didn't originally include this one, but I was just like, no, we're gonna fucking do Cosmic Dark. So all right, Graham, talk us through Cosmic Dark.
Cosmic Dark, it's not on my screen at the moment. I mean, I do know what it looks like. So there's a bit of a story behind this, which is, oh, I do like Cosmic Dark.
It's stunning. It's stunning. I think it's the best cover that you have so far.
So it's an interesting one actually, because I've got into the habit. Someone was sort of talking about doing art direction, and so now when I commission art from artists, I don't just say, could you design me a cover? I say, could you design me a cover? And could you just extend it to the left?
Yep.
So that I've got a back cover as well.
Yep.
And so I commission the whole wraparound.
Good. Smart.
It's so cool.
Very smart.
And they're usually good about this, and they don't like charge you twice as much as for a cover, because basically here I was like, can you just give me like extended starry background off to the left for a bit more money? So yeah. What do I want to say about this? There was a game published, I think about 2008, called 316. I'm sorry, I now have to just see if I've got a copy. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh no, you're fine. Go looking for it. Just while we're filling up Dead Space Cosmic Dark right now, guys, you can watch a stream of this on Symphony that was run by Graham. Also, there's another series on Ain't Slayed Nobody that is absolutely spectacular, with a much longer series coming that really made me fall in love with this content. So there's a few places you can engage in the actual play until Graham gets around to kickstarting it. Also, a week from now, you should probably tune into the Miskatonic University podcast for reasons. I'll just put that out there. Go ahead, Graham.
What could that be? Cool. Yeah. So for a moment, I was mystified by that. I was like, why? Oh,
why?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got it. Yeah. Oh, that's a reference to that thing. Okay. Cool. So this was published in, I think, 2008. Oh man, light reflecting here.
Oh damn, light reflecting and glare. Yeah.
But it's an incredibly beautiful sci-fi cover. And at the time, this is a game by Gregor Hutton, and it's basically a Starship Troopers game, but it does go a bit deeper than that. And it's still really, really good, and you should go and play it. And I was just really conscious that at the time, while we were publishing these sort of put together covers, he had this amazing, stunning sci-fi art, and it really stuck with me. And so when I started thinking about Cosmic Dark, I was like, can I just get the guy who did that?
Oh.
So I did. So I emailed him. He's a guy called Paul Bourne, and he works for Handiwork Games, who do all their own stuff. And Handiwork Games have a huge, amazing range of stuff. And he did me this wonderful sci-fi cover, which is just incredible.
I love it. I think this is honestly the strongest cover you have. It's interesting you've left off your name again on this one, which reasons.
Because I'm a shy retiring.
Yeah. I know what that yellow streak is going across the game because I've played it, although someone else is going to read the content and look at the cover and go, oh. So I think that's a fun little Easter egg and tease because it has an actual relevance. It's a core relevance to the game. Also, I'm just a really big fan of the fact that I won't even call it what it is. The yellow line actually marks as the A in the dark aspect. That makes me happy too.
It's really lovely. So actually, the other part of the story is that Paul Bourne did the art, and then Nick Rosenberg,
Yep.
who has done a lot of streaming and a lot of podcasting and so on, basically came along and basically, I think I could just tweak that and just make that a little better.
Yeah.
And so she came along and just rearranged the titles and just did some cool transparency stuff that meant the yellow zap was going through the A. And so yeah, she really improved it as well.
Oh my goodness. And we love some Nick around here. Nick is the homies.
Nick's brilliant.
Oh,
Um, cool.
all
There
right.
you go. That's Cosmic Dark.
Cosmic Dark coming down. Okay.
Crowdfunding early next year if I get round to it. What's next? Dorothy, Friends of Dorothy.
Yes. All right. Friends of Dorothy is coming at you now. I think I just put her.
I don't think I've seen Rena in the chat. Quite nervous about
Where
doing this with
is
Rena in the
okay?
chat.
There
I mean, they'll
is
watch it
the
back later.
Friends of Dorothy, and then just give me a quick second and a half, guys, and I will get you the link on this one. Symphony Entertainment actually just streamed this one last night, so if you are on the Twitch right now, feel free to just go look at the replay. It came in 2 sections because my internet was like, we're choosing violence, and that was very unfortunate, but it is what it is. But here is the link, and then here's the quick promo on it. So, nope. Oh, Graham, start talking about the cover because now my Google Drive thing is being weird. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Friends of Dorothy. So it's this is an amazing scenario. So the whole thing
It is a good
starts
scenario.
by yeah. The whole thing starts by I think police storm a
Mm-hmm.
queer bar, and you escape from the bar, but actually you escape through portals. This is a bit of a spoiler, but it's a spoiler like 15 minutes into the game, so
Yeah.
you know deal with it. Um, and that story is sort of being played out on the cover, so you can see that someone coming in with a gun from the right hand side, and then someone is fleeing into this glittery portal on the left hand side, and there's the bar. Yeah, so there you go, and it's so and generally you've played this. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
are you in the kind of have you gone through the portal yet? Yeah,
At the
okay,
point that
and
you're
it
capturing this. Oh, was that question
right
for me or was that for chat? Sorry.
that was for you.
Yes. No. Yes. So I've played this and I read it, and at the point that the game is right now, you have not gone through the portal yet.
Okay, so sorry for spoiling.
Yeah. You're okay. It's okay. Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
got it. And go.
don't watch this stream before watching. Anyway,
We need to put
um,
spoiler warnings up. Sorry.
cool. Right. Sorry. All right. So, what was I going to say? I was going to. So, I mean, I think the thing about this scenario is, from what I understand, it seems to be set in this sort of colorful, multicolored, fabulous camp alternate universe. Good summary. I think
Yep.
that's a fair
That feels
summary.
fair.
Yeah. Um, this is a cool cover. And it's kind of the same question I had about Pop Goes the Weasel. Do I get fabulous camp world from this cover? I'm not totally sure I do. And I mean, and the story that's playing out, right? This guy coming in with a gun and chasing her through a portal. It's a bit confined to the margins, and I know that's the idea.
Yeah.
Um, but in a way, I do kind of want a bit more drama. There's a sense that I'm looking at this, and it's a bar fairly flat on. Um, this reading the scenario, I know how camp and wonderful it is, and I wondered if we could get some more camp and wonder into the cover.
Into the cover.
Yeah.
Just a compliment what Graham is saying, because it took me a second to find it. Friends of Dorothy. This scenario involves LGBTQ plus themes, including identity, fear of discovery, fitting in, self-sexuality, and self-expression. The story also has some riffs on Wizard of Oz. So with me engaging with this content as somebody who has read it and now has streamed it, there are a few things that jump out to me about the cover. The Friends of Dorothy, if you're familiar with that phrase, is usually indicative or indicating like a gay man. So got it. We got some queerness already popping out strong. There's no rainbows. There's no pride. There's nothing on that in the cover. But the Friends of Dorothy is kind of like your tee off that if you're familiar with that phrase, that's coming. The Friends of is in this camo thing, so I'm already getting like, okay, military and queer. There's some weird intersection between there. I can understand that. Just like that yellow sliver was significant to Cthulhu Dark or Cosmic Dark, the gold glitter around this healed shoe is also very significant to the scenario. But you won't know that. That's why Paul, I was weird about answering your question in the chat. You won't know that until you actually engage with the content itself. We spoiled the whole portal thing at the front end of this. I understand that. But to Graham's point about engaging with the cover and knowing what the content is walking into it, you get 15, 20 minutes at the beginning of the game that's character build up that takes place in this location, and then you're somewhere else for the rest of the game. So this is like one of those things that's like, but the where you go for the rest of the game is the big twist. It just happens on the first 10% of the game. So it's one of those weird things, Graham. Is I don't know whether fantastical world should be what you put on the cover when you're not supposed to know that that's what's happening when you walk into the game. But that's also a weird bait and switch. Or maybe some
Oh,
intentional deception or some intentional, because where the game begins is here, but that's just like the intro scene, and then you don't come back to this place. So I
so no.
don't. Yeah.
So I'm not saying necessarily put the fabulous world on the cover, if indeed there is a fabulous world. I don't want to spoil things for people.
Yep.
But I'm really just saying, if this is a camp fabulous scenario, I want camp fabulousness all over the cover.
All over the cover. Got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
I'm gonna very quickly. So the typefacing, the typefaces at the top. So this is about queer veterans, and so that's reflected in the typefaces here. So I think that's Friends of is in this stencil font, so veterans, and then Dorothy is in this sort of pink swirly, which I think is going to be the queer. There's something about this that you know what Graham Gents did with sign writers,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of want whoever did that to come and do the Friends of Dorothy lettering here. Because that whole
Oh.
it's one of these things about swirly lettering, because swirly fonts, well, it's never kind of going to be the same as like someone doing actual calligraphy, right?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, if I had a wish for that, it would be that.
It would be that. Okay.
Cool.
Graham, I'm looking at
I
our
feel like,
time right now. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Oh no, we're good. Because we've only got one left, I
I
think.
think it's just
I
the
was going
one
to
left.
say,
Yep.
I feel I've criticized that cover to death, and I didn't mean to. And I really like the scenario. So there we
Oh,
go.
the scenario is absolutely phenomenal. Oh, it's so
Cool.
good. Oh, God, it hits a lot of emotional beats. Okay, baby, unless I'm wrong, the last one should be Lost and Found.
Lost and found.
Lost and Found is up right now. And then I am going to quickly go and find that bad by myself. This is SR Stellance, right? Yeah. That my buddy
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
I like that. I like him.
Oh,
All right. Same thing, babe. Buy me time. Up. Nope. Hold on. Don't buy me time. I got it right now. Google
well, I'm
Drive
just
be Google
staring at this
driving,
cover,
guys.
so I'm just going to stare at the cover like this. So,
Yeah, stare at the cover. Stare at the cover. Stare at the
yeah.
cover. All right, guys. So this is Lost and Found is a railway-based scenario designed to be played as a standalone or as an adjunct to an existing campaign. The cover and layout are designed to give a vintage railway poster
Mm.
vibe that is coming directly in from Stellans.
I was just about to ask you whether you got the visual reference here. I mean, does it? You're in the States. Do you look at this and kind of get, oh, that's familiar?
No, this means nothing to me from
No.
that standpoint. No.
I mean, to be fair, it might not mean much to a lot of Brits, but this is a very much the design of a 1930s poster.
Okay.
So 1930s rail posters in the UK looked like this. Go and Google them. They are beautiful, and they have this beautiful, beautiful art. It was this is so close to the design that for a long while I was like, he has literally found one of these that is in the public domain and just replaced the text with lost and found. Um, and and then I saw that there's a big scary face over the train, so presumably he hasn't done that. Um, it's so I'd love to know what he's done with the art here. I did Google the artist, so I'd love to know if this is actually completely an original piece, or if it is slightly based on one of the posters, or even if it's an adapted version of one of the original
Mm,
posters. I'd love to know. Um, it's beautiful. It's
it
done that
is.
thing where you look at a very strong visual reference from the past and you
Yep.
go, I am taking that. I love that. Um, I mean, the typefaces there are very distinctive. There's a whole bunch of humanist typefaces. So Johnston is one of them, but there's a whole sort of cluster of them that get used on British transport, and so that's mimicking the style perfectly. Yeah, I just love this. I'm not sure I've got much to say apart from that.
It's very movie poster for me.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I look at
Okay.
this and
Yeah.
I see a movie poster very easily, like the
Mm.
Lost and Found, the Railway Scenario for Call of Cthulhu. But as far as like travel vibes and like spooky images in the sky, then even the Miskatonic Playhouse with the ripped off ticket or the ticket, just no, this is a strong cover.
Mm.
There's a simplicity to it that is also very almost jarring because, like, looking up and looking down is almost two different experiences.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Someone's saying in the chat that that he thinks the author used stock images to recreate this, and I don't know what was done here, but I think it's so useful to bear in mind that if you are doing a cover, you do always have this option of finding stuff in the public domain and adapting it, tweaking it a little, and you can get something utterly beautiful from that.
Well said. Well said.
Cool.
Amazing, guys. That sent us
Phew.
through either 13 or 15 covers. Whoo, Graham, you hit that hard and you hit that fast. I am
Wow.
impressed. I am
I'm feeling
impressed.
I'm feeling slightly guilty now because I don't want to criticize it. We're all publishers. We're all trying to sort of do the right thing here, and I just really wanted to use this as a chance to talk. So
Yeah.
please do in the chat, rip my covers to bits if you
And also go and buy this content and leave
and
reviews
go and
and
buy
share
them.
and support these creators because that's a beautiful thing. Okay, guys, we are going to do this giveaway quick, fast, and in a hurry. We are going to hit it hard. We're going to hit it fast. Bucho said he's lined up. So I'm going to do giveaways in the order that is presented before us. Ooh, Graham, I didn't get this on your survey. Are you okay with giving away a free copy of Cosmic Dark
God
when
no.
it does?
Oh, Cosmic Dark.
Cosmic, or should we skip it? We should probably let's skip that one.
Oh, like when it comes out.
Yeah, but I don't know when that's going to be, and no one's going to
Oh
remember
yeah.
the
Do you
stream
mind if
by
we
then.
skip it?
Let's just skip it.
I'll forget.
No, we're all going to forget. Okay, so we're going to do Play Unsafe, the PDF. You okay with that one, Graham?
Yes, that's fine.
All right. So Play Unsafe is going to Chris Bates. Amazing. Chris Bates, Bucho or
Great.
I will get in touch with you very soon. Graham, Cthulhu Dark PDF?
Oh, what? Yeah, I'll give one
Yeah.
away. Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Carl, congratulations, Carl, for winning a PDF of Cthulhu
Done.
Dark. Lost and Found. Bucho! Well done, Bucho. Congrats on Lost and Found.
Good one to
Friends of Dorothy is coming. Bridgett. I own Friends of Dorothy, so I'm just going to pick another person. Doc Tracy, who probably also owns it. But just in case you don't, congrats, you just won Friends of Dorothy. Under the Autumn Strangely is going to Perry. Perry, congratulations on getting Graham Gint's Under the Autumn Strangely.
I wanted that one.
Pop Goes the Weasel goes to... Oh, you already own it too. Unless, do you want this PDF copy?
Oh, what? No,
Yeah,
no,
you
give it to
want
someone
it.
else.
Okay,
'Cause I
okay.
have literally bought it. So yeah.
Okay, the Count Olaf. Congratulations for
Well
winning
done.
Pop Goes the Weasel. Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory is going to my husband, Richard Ruan. You probably already own it, but if you don't, I'm going to send you a free PDF copy of Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory. Alpaca in the Coffee is going to Mind Spawn Music. Congratulations, and thank you for joining the stream. The Art of, we can't pronounce it, Hygge is
Hygge.
Hygge is going to, oh guys, guess what? You guys maxed out of all the winners. Congratulations. I'm going to remove them and keep drawing, which means somebody is walking out of here with 2 copies of stuff. Bucho, you got all this, right? Yeah, you're fine. Bucho knows what he's doing more than I do most days. All right. Art of Hygge is going to the Rogue DM, which I think is Jason. So congratulations, Jason. Where are we? Lights in the Trees. Doc Bones won his own scenario.
Good scenario. You'll enjoy it.
Bucho, you just got Lights in the Trees. Congrats. Field of Screams is going to Mind Spawn Music. Congratulations on your second win for tonight. And the first scenario that we covered is Cursed. That is going to Chris Bates, which probably already owns it, but just in case, congrats, Chris Bates, on that one. Oh, Paul is saying he's good with giving a copy of Art of We Can't Pronounce It to everyone
Yeah.
here, which is impressive. So what I'm going to
Wow.
do is thank you for being a blessing to people. Paul, we appreciate it. I'm going to do a screenshot of everyone that I have in chat, and then we'll settle up with that afterwards. Unless, baby, to make our lives easier, if you want to put your email in the chat right now and tell people, hey, email me for that free copy, you can also do it that way. And also, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. That is going to complete our giveaway. Holy hell, that was 13 or 11. 11 contents going out. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Graham, before we close out this stream, any last parting words that we should know when it comes to cover design, cover engagement? Anything else?
I really just want to say thanks to everyone that's submitting their covers, and thanks for sort of playing along with this whole thing. I mean, you know, we're all independent creators, and we're all trying to
Yeah.
sort of find our way through this thing. So and I'm still trying to work it out as well. So yeah, thanks very much indeed.
Graham, as much as I dislike you on a regular day basis, I love and adore the grounds you walk on. You bring so much value and so much celebration to the community. Everywhere from your accessibility also to just your strat. Like, you've read every scenario that we put up today. You did research. Like, you're a gem, honey. I dislike
They
you
were good
greatly, but you really
scenarios.
are a
I
gem.
enjoyed it. It was fun.
It's just, oh, Graham, I don't think you understand the impact that you have on the people around you. So I'm not going to fall on you anymore because I don't even like you. So, guys, thank you so much for supporting the Symphony. Please support these creators. Please go check out their content on Drive Through RPG or Indie Press Revolution. If you have questions, feel free to let us know. If you enjoyed this content, help us please make more of it by backing us at Symphony on Symphony at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Graham has his own Patreon, which is, I hate that he got this title, by the way. I'm still irritated.
www.patreon.com/Graham, where you can find my Cosmic Dark stuff and also like the weird little games which are, you know, give me life.
And I hate that even the bot supported you. The bot just magically.
The bot has literally just come up with that as well.
I hate it so much. And how did Graham get that handle? Oh, there were no other Grahams on Patreon. I hate them.
But I got
Guys,
in because I'm older. So
I hate it. Guys, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We will catch you, I think, next week. Give me just a quick second. What's the next thing Symphony has going on right now? We've done Last Journey Home. We've done the cover coaching. We've done Friends of Dorothy. Oh, guys, it's Diesel Isle that is coming in with Monster Hearts on September
love
30th.
Monster Hearts.
Oh, God. September 30th here live on Twitch. We're going to be doing Monster Hearts. We've already done the session 0 where we covered safety tools, expectations, character generation. We're going to be starting in homeroom with an incredible cast. It's me, Rena, Lauren with the good hair, Keeper Chad, and Diesel. We're going to bring the Symphony thirst, and we're definitely going to bring the horror, so definitely check that out. Guys, we appreciate you spending time with us, and we hope you've enjoyed the Symphony, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Graham and I are going to get really close into the camera. Bye, guys.